Imagine waking up one morning and learning that humanity has finally done it. After decades of planning, thousands of engineers, and trillions of dollars, the first crewed mission to Saturn has launched. Millions watch the livestream as the spacecraft slowly leaves Earth behind. At first, everything feels familiar. The crew sends messages home, performs experiments, and watches our planet shrink into the darkness. But as the months turn into years, a disturbing reality begins to emerge. Saturn is not Mars. It is not the moons. It is a destination so distant, so hostile, and so unforgiving that reaching it may push the human body and mind beyond their absolute limits. Saturn orbits the Sun nearly 1.4 billion kilometers from Earth. Light itself takes more than an hour to travel between the two worlds. By the time an astronaut asks a question, the answer won't arrive for hours. In an emergency, there is no immediate help, no rescue mission, and no second chance. The crew is completely alone. As Earth fades into a tiny pale star, the psychological burden becomes impossible to ignore. Every person the astronauts have ever known is now farther away than any human has ever been from another human being. Birthdays are missed. Families grow older. Children become adults. Entire chapters of life pass by while the spacecraft drifts through the endless darkness. Yet distance is only the beginning. Beyond Earth's protective magnetic field lies a sea of invisible radiation. Every second, high-energy particles from distant supernovas and violent solar storms slam into the spacecraft. Unlike astronauts aboard the International Space Station, these travelers have no natural shield protecting them. Day after day, year after year, the radiation slowly damages cells, alters DNA, increases cancer risk, and potentially affects memory and decision-making. Scientists already know that long-duration exposure to deep space radiation could permanently change the human brain. The crew understands this. Every sunrise they witness may be taking a hidden toll on their bodies. Then comes another challenge: gravity, or rather the complete lack of it. Human beings evolved under Earth's gravity. Every muscle, every bone, every organ depends on it. In deep space, muscles begin to weaken. Bones slowly lose density. The heart adapts to a world where it no longer has to fight gravity. Even vision can deteriorate as fluid shifts toward the head. Despite daily exercise, the human body was never designed to spend years floating in weightlessness. Scientists estimate that future Saturn travelers would require some form of artificial gravity, perhaps a rotating spacecraft large enough to mimic Earth's pull. But such a structure would be one of the largest engineering projects in human history. And even if humanity somehow solves these problems, another obstacle remains: fuel. Reaching Saturn is difficult. Returning from Saturn is even worse. Every kilogram of fuel carried for the return journey requires additional fuel to move it. That extra fuel requires even more fuel. This brutal cycle is governed by the rocket equation, one of the most unforgiving laws in physics. It is the reason why space travel becomes exponentially harder with distance. Engineers can design better rockets, more efficient engines, and lighter spacecraft, but they cannot negotiate with physics. Then, after years of travel, Saturn finally appears outside the windows. At first, it looks unreal. Its rings stretch across space like giant rivers of ice and rock, wide enough to fit hundreds of Earths side by side. The sight is breathtaking, yet strangely tragic. Because the crew knows they can never actually stand on Saturn. Unlike Earth, Mars, or the Moon, Saturn has no solid surface. It is a colossal world made mostly of hydrogen and helium. Descend too far and the pressure becomes so extreme that no spacecraft could survive. There are no mountains to climb, no valleys to explore, no ground beneath your feet. Saturn is a giant ocean of gas wrapped around a hidden interior that remains one of the greatest mysteries in planetary science. Instead, the crew turns their attention to Saturn's moons. Titan, larger than the planet Mercury, possesses rivers, lakes, and seas, not of water but of liquid methane and ethane. It is the only moon in the solar system with a thick atmosphere. Some scientists believe Titan may hold clues to how life began on Earth. Then there is Enceladus, a frozen moon that sprays enormous jets of water vapor into space from a hidden ocean beneath its icy crust. Those plumes contain many of the ingredients necessary for life. In fact, some researchers consider Enceladus one of the most promising places in the solar system to search for alien microorganisms. As the astronauts explore these incredible worlds from orbit, they realize something profound. The greatest discoveries may not be on Saturn itself, but on the moons surrounding it. Yet even this triumph carries a shadow. Every day spent in Saturn's orbit makes returning home more difficult. Fuel reserves shrink. Systems age. Radiation continues its relentless assault. The spacecraft is now farther from Earth than any human has ever traveled. A return journey would take years. Any major failure could become a death sentence. And so the mission raises a question far larger than Saturn itself. Are there places in the universe that humans were never meant to visit? Throughout history, humanity has crossed oceans, climbed mountains, and reached the moon. Every generation believed some frontier was impossible until someone proved otherwise. Yet Saturn reminds us that the universe operates according to rules far beyond our desires. The distances are real. The dangers are real. The physics is real. Perhaps centuries from now, fusion engines, advanced radiation shields, artificial hibernation, or technologies not yet imagined will transform Saturn from an impossible dream into a reachable destination. But today, Saturn remains what it has always been, a magnificent jewel suspended in the darkness, beautiful enough to inspire us, distant enough to humble us, and mysterious enough to remind us that even in an age of extraordinary technology, the cosmos is still far larger than our ambitions. And maybe that is exactly what makes Saturn so fascinating. It is not merely a planet. It is a reminder that the universe still holds frontiers beyond our reach, waiting for the day humanity becomes brave enough and advanced enough to try again.